This program is sponsored by Shenanigan Sports Pub.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox with Jeff Defo DeForest and manning the boards off screen right now, Mike Lubie Lubitz. We've got another special treat in store for you today, Friday, the pre-weekend, and we are here at Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale, and it is a pleasure. It's my first time here. I've heard nothing but great things, including I sent my advanced scout, Jeff Defo DeForest, came in here last weekend. Tell the fine folks what happened.
Oh, it was great. The Mustang was anxious to get something to eat, and usually it takes her a long time to make a decision. I try to influence her a little bit to make a decision quickly, so I don't stop at 15 different places, and then she decides she doesn't want to go there. So we're coming back home. I use East on Commercial Boulevard. And just before we get there on a rainy day, I see Wicked Cheesesteaks, and then largely influenced by, and I'm going to switch headsets here because this one's a little lame. But
okay, yeah, we seems like the theme of the day, Friday.
There you go.
Stumbling around a little bit,
technical problems.
stumbling like Tua. I hope he's
anyway,
okay.
I'm
okay.
sure I'll be all right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we decided to stop in, and we'd seen nothing but favorable rave reviews. I mean, very, very positive. I like a consensus theory on Let's Eat South Florida recommendations, and if the majority of people seem to feel that a place is really, really good, and you can kind of tell if it's got the right ingredients to be a successful restaurant, if you will. And I saw Wicked Cheesesteaks always was getting very favorable results.
Yeah.
All right, so we come in and ordered a couple of things. Naturally, I was going for the cheesesteak, and the first question is, I mean, how does it compare the best places in Philadelphia? And then that's about which ones are the best places in Philadelphia, and you would immediately go to it seems to be commonplace, though. I believe you're probably right about this. The Pat's and Geno's are both
those are more touristy.
Yeah.
They're famous. They've been there a long time. I used to go when I would cover Dolphins games up in Philly and South Philly, right across from didn't they have like a little Racino? I don't know, it was Parkstown, I don't even know, but the place called Tony Luke's was really good, and I enjoyed the cheesesteaks there along the roast pork with provolone, which is one of my favorites. But I love this place. We're here at Wicked Cheesesteaks. It's not just for cheesesteaks. The beautiful thing is I met, Brian Z, the owner here, proprietor, and I love these little mom and pop shops, and he's a big fan of Let's Eat. He's sung the praises of the membership.
Well, that's what got started. I got the whole thing started because he heard me speaking with the person I was at the counter, very lovely young lady, put in the order, and they says, "Hey, you get quite a bit after being here for 40
right.
years."
You would think they're gonna say Defo, the sports guy.
And the Mustang is ready to go. Oh yeah, he's a sports guy. And then Brian says to me, "You do that show with that Mayo guy." I was like, "Wow, that's not the first time that's happened since we started." That is a blow
to the ego. That is
not really. I'm happy about it because I mean the show's on our channel, so who wouldn't be happy about it? I'm glad to be known for this. But,
good. I mean, it's you are an old pro. And we are now doing this show together. Recognize your voice, and I'm glad that he now invited us in.
Well, it turned out he was a big fan, and the question out there is, do you love Mike Mayo or fear Mike Mayo? And I think among restaurateurs, you still wield a fairly powerful.
I'm not here to be feared. I'm here to be fed. That's the whole.
Well, we know that, and he loves the fact that you dive in on the food on the shows. Everybody seems to get a kick out of that.
Speaking of that,
they don't like it so much home because it doesn't come across as well.
So Brian, I've learned today, is from Kennebunkport, Maine.
Right.
And that explains, Wicked up in Boston and New England, Maine, they say, oh, that's wicked good, that's wicked hot. So that explains there's a whole section on the menu here devoted to lobsters, lobster rolls, lobster mac and cheese. They even have a lobster pizza, which I'm not going to dip my toes in that water this time. Maybe the next go around.
mac and cheese happens to be one of my favorites.
So he got the lobster because he's from Maine. His wife is from Philadelphia. That explains the cheesesteak part. And I guess
and
everybody
also explains why that dominates the menu.
Yeah,
the
well,
aspect of this place. But I didn't realize how diverse they were. I mean, if
they
you look
got
at the menu,
calzones, they got strombolis. They've got. I saw he was making. It must have been a lunch special. He's making a little like ravioli on a hot pot, hot plate in the back there, and he had this beautiful. They have pizza ovens. They got pizza.
Did you try it?
And I looked, down at the whole pie that had come out of the oven. I said, "That looks pretty good. Throw us a couple of slices." So here I am. I mean, this
do your best port.
This is going to be a one bite, and
I've already taken a bite of mine, and it's fantastic. I really like it. Got a little bit of New York. Everybody's always looking for like a New York type of pizza. It's got that kind of taste to it, and the overall composition of the thing is very much like if you grabbed a slice at some place in New York.
It's even got air bubble.
What do you think, Mike?
I think it's good.
I like it.
It's very reminiscent.
Now, remember, these are preliminaries, so be careful. Here. You don't want to down,
That's
your
a problem.
slice and Lubies at the same time.
He doesn't know how to just eat a little. Like, he's gonna eat the
No,
whole
when
slice
it's
100%.
good.
Moderation. Yeah, he said he was going to take one bite. He's already got down to the crust here.
All right, I'm just
No,
going to
it's okay.
save myself for the cheese.
No, take another one.
It's a good slice. I mean,
I
that's
like
the thing.
fact
It's
that
got,
you're enjoying it.
the undercarriage is really nice.
Save
It's
some
crispy.
room for some wings.
The cheese, it seems, it's a good, proper, what I would call like New York style slice. Hi, gentlemen.
Yeah, these guys know, a good place when they
They
see
look
it.
like they're regulars. They're very serious.
He's been there
serious
about 3
their lunch.
years also with Wicked Cheesesteaks, he was telling me, Brian, and I'm sure he'll come on hopefully and tell his story if he gets a chance because they're going to get swamped here on the lunch hour. But great stuff. Everything I had, I took the stuff home, and everything I had, I thought was terrific. I had their standard cheesesteak, Wicked Philly. That was great. And then we also had some wings. And we had a chicken parms, and I'm thinking, wow, I didn't try like 1% of the things on the menu. So let's go back.
So, and let's tell people where we are. So it's Wicked Cheesesteaks right at 4824 North Federal Highway. It's basically right across from Holy Cross Hospital, which is convenient for me because
you can order out when you're
once I down a few more cheesesteaks and the cholesterol goes. No, it actually happens to be where I have a lot of my doctors do a lot of my health assessments. So I'm up here. I will stop off.
These
and we got our sarsaparilla collection here. He says they've got 40 different varieties of root beer. I didn't know that there were 40 different varieties of root beer. I thought it was A&W and that's it. But we've got, he told me to get the triple X. I guess that's because maybe he heard this morning that I'm a combination, according to Defo, because of my performance yesterday, where I guess it was a little bit of
people thought it was disgusting. I don't know if there were any reviews or comments.
X-rated, the way I tore into a fish, and maybe
the way you used your finger.
A little obscene. A little bit racy, but you called me a combination of Anthony Bourdain and Debbie Does
Dallas, because you're a little out of control there. I mean, and
that was yesterday. Am I allowed to eat with my hands today?
Oh,
with
absolutely.
The
this is finger food.
pizza?
I mean, you're talking about chicken wings and Philly cheesesteaks and pizza and all of this good stuff here. But I asked you this before, and we've discussed cheesesteaks obviously at length here on the different shows we've done. But what exactly are you looking for, Mike Mayo, the Gambling Gourmet, the man behind Let's Eat South Florida? What is your go-to qualities for a good cheesesteak?
You want to have the thinly shaved, fresh ribeye steak.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not talking steakum here.
No, and he uses that. I already asked him. He got the ribeye shaved, nice and chopped that up on the grill. Some people squirt a little butter in there. I'm not sure of his technique. I'm going to have to watch and ask. But my perfect cheesesteak. I'm not a cheese whiz guy. I'm like you. I like the provolone
much better.
But I don't like the provolone. I'll see his technique, but I do like when they chop up and melt the provolone into the chopped meat on the flat top, along with some grilled onions. I'm a mushroom guy. I could do grilled onions and mushrooms. I don't need so much hot peppers. And he said he's going to make a cheesesteak for me the way he likes it. And I'm sure the way he likes it, it'll be the way I like it.
We'll see. You're not the easiest guy to please. We know that. I mean, it's always good if you happen to be a sponsor on the show, but you don't show any bias here. I mean, you'd be just as quick to cancel a guy if you didn't think the food was up to the quality of the Mike Mayo standards.
I'm sure it's going to be great because the the masses are usually right on
In general,
when they
that's a
suss
good
out a
formula.
place and
Yeah.
they keep singing its praises. That usually means that they're onto something. And I feel badly because it's one of these. This is one of the places I've driven by, countless times. I've seen it. I haven't gone in. It's either been a little too late or a little too early. But I'm glad I finally got in here. And the atmosphere is great. You see behind us, they have a big gold board, and they have a happy hour on Wednesdays. I can't even read
Buy one,
behind
get
me.
one. Buy one, get one.
Think about this,
Logo?
because the prices are the basic cheesesteak, their Wicked Philly cheesesteak is $12, which is reasonable. And
In this day and
on
age.
Wednesday from 5 to 8, it's 2 for 1.
Can't
You're allowed
beat
to
that
ask
deal.
Brian if he's just fueled by his desire to lose money, because and wings
No,
also.
that's you later on at a parimutuel
Yeah.
if you're choosing.
Wings also are on that offer, and that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, and
His wings
again,
are reasonably priced to begin with.
yeah, you get a half dozen for $8.99. I think is the right amount, because wings, sometimes, people order 10 or 20.
Yeah.
I like getting 6, and then you still get a sandwich to go along with it. It's like a good appetizer. Yeah, I'm digging the menu. I'm digging the root beer. You've got the Fox and Park. I picked that up.
This
out
was
for you.
fantastic.
That's a Connecticut thing. That goes with
Wow.
a lot of the New Haven.
I didn't realize
pizzas.
root beers were that sophisticated that you would have like 40 types of root
It's
beer.
become a thing. It's become
Yeah.
a thing. And meanwhile, I don't know what happened. Lubie is for the social media.
Well,
we're
we
on
need to generate
Oh,
a
yeah,
commercial for these guys.
We're on the networks of South Florida Live. Friday, again, you could catch us on the live stream every day on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I got a little
Well,
root
there you
beer.
go. Yeah.
A
Jesus.
little root beer come up there.
Oh,
But
my
along
God.
with the
Root beer is good for the belch.
the
you would
YouTube.
have to
It's
say.
good. It's very, very.
Is it because it's
like-
got some derivatives of beer, elements in it? Or?
the seltzer with a little sarsaparilla. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
here comes some
Okay,
stuff
so
too.
I see.
Oh my goodness,
Lovely. Oh, you come on in.
come on
That's
in,
it.
yeah,
We're-
get in the
this
picture
is you can't be bashful
All
here.
right, what do we have?
I see things are approaching. We've
Have
got
some wings. Oh,
yeah,
we
you
got
have to try
wings.
those.
They're-
Yeah, that's
they're
fantastic.
bathed in some.
Those are
sauce.
great.
And then we
We got
got
little fries.
Oh, look at
Okay,
that.
this is the
Fries.
start. This is just the start.
And then
Garlic
a garlic
aioli, ketchup,
Nice,
fries, wings.
I want to.
I'm gonna get
witness
sloppy.
you
I
trying one of
think I
these
might
wings.
need napkins because otherwise it's gonna get
Yeah.
really ugly.
Or else
And,
just get him one of those Wicked shirts and he'll change. That'll be good.
so yeah, this is it. We're starting the.
We had a big
The Friday
debate about
feast.
grabbing fries today, but I had no problem with somebody
Yeah,
grabbing.
I didn't
I-
care about
I
the
was just
fries.
kidding
Yeah.
The
about
fries
that.
didn't bother me.
No,
It was-
look,
I'm reaching
Look, I
across the
definitely
fish. These look
I
great.
violated protocol yesterday by grabbing the fish. It was not my finest
What
hour. but
possesses you though? Do you just
Bloody
lose
Marys.
control of your
Bloody
bodily
Marys.
functions? Yeah.
That's what Brad was.
Because you were like, your fingers all of a
Yesterday-
sudden great.
Oh, great.
the
We got more.
grilled cheese.
Okay. No, yesterday Brad sussed it out at even keel because when I started tearing up the fish, I said it's okay. People eat the fish like family style with their
No, no,
fingers.
they
He goes,
don't.
yeah, after you've had 7 Bloody Marys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, been disowned by your family.
Now,
That's
I'm very
usually-
self-conscious. But do I have
No,
your
that's fine.
permission?
Fries
You
are
dig in
fine.
all of this
Wings
What
stuff.
are
should I
fine.
dip my fry in? Oh, it's like
there's a
became
garlic
pickup
aioli that
line.
I
What
think
do
they
we
want
have
to
here?
try.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
going to try garlic aioli
Oh,
for people
yeah,
who mock
yeah.
me for putting this
Okay,
is
yeah,
kind
I'm
of in
trying
the
that too
same.
because that looks really
neighborhood.
good. Almost
Oh.
looks like a Caesar
my
type of
God.
dressing here. Yeah. How
Oh,
is
that's
it?
good.
Yeah.
Crunchy, dusted.
Imagine this. We're only on the fries. I mean, that's fantastic.
No, I mean, I can't
You have to
believe
try a wing.
I'm going to try a wing. You know,
These aren't the basic ones, though.
you
It's
talk
just
about
not-
mixed messages. He rags on me for being a disgusting slob. He says, it's totally unprofessional to eat on the air during the broadcast.
Yeah.
And then he's like, go on, have a wing.
No, I mean, when we're out on the road,
He's
this
the
is
new
the beauty of
Sony.
it.
He's my new Svengali.
Really
And if you notice, people, I mean, there's a noticeable, perceivable
I
difference.
just stuck a finger in the sauce here. I
That's a
got
little gross, but
I always got.
there is a perceivable difference in your mood, your approach, your cadence, your pace, your enthusiasm level when there's food in front of you versus when you're home. I don't know if your mom's giving you all kinds of fits or whatever, or what it is about being home that has you usually kind of, the old Miles Davis thing.
Oh wow!
What do you think of these? Because these are not
Crisp.
the standard that I had, but they must be something.
These
With
have-
red chili and honey.
Yeah,
hot sauce. Is
these
that
are honey glazed with a sweet heat.
it? Yeah. What do you
So
think?
it's like the red chili. I don't know if it's what kind of if he just blends in a little hot red peppers in there.
You
But it's
didn't
good.
do your usual technique there, the chestnut.
Again,
technique.
I'm so self-conscious now. I don't want people mocking
You
me.
shouldn't be. You should be. You're Mike Mayo. You know, you were.
I go my lengthwise.
There you go. This is worth seeing people because he does it like he was in a wing eating contest. And then out comes what? Just the bone? All right, we'll see if we get him a towel. Get him a cut, man.
Please don't choke.
Yeah, we don't want you choking on here.
No, it's very hot. Very hot temperature-wise. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, okay. All
So-
right. Well, they just made him. I mean, it's not like they were waiting for
You
an
can see
hour
the
on
steam. The
counter
steam is
there.
coming up off of him.
Sipping that soda, and then we'll get you going. Good. Mike Mayo tries to compose
Are you
himself on the air.
You're gonna burp me too? It's like you're my dad.
I feel
I'm
like
a little baby.
I'm ready to burp
I'm a little
baby.
baby here. Go ahead, take a little sip from your sippy cup.
All right, so what would you say? I mean, outside of the unexpected heat, as we didn't have a chance to let these cool off. But what do you think? What do you think so far? The pizza I rate very highly. The wings I had the standard. With
This
the hot
is looking
sauce.
strong. This is looking gambling gourmet worthy, lunchbox worthy. I really like the wings because you tell me that the technique is they bake them and
They
then
bake
a little
them
bit
first.
of a fry.
That's what got us to order them. We saw them coming out of the oven.
These
and
are
we thought,
very,
wow.
very solid wings. They're
Good.
good.
All right.
And I look forward to trying the different varieties. You know, they got the straight up traditional buffalo sauce. This one was doing the hot honey, and which I like. I love that it gives that the tingle. The tingle. Also stickiness.
Things in
I give you
chili
like 18
pepper
napkins.
also.
I don't know. You got me hooked up with the napkins. We're good. I'm gonna leave the pizza. I've got my notes on a plate today because I didn't bring any.
But you okay? So you can still read this stuff.
Yeah, I
what
can
do you
read it.
have?
Well, no. First thing I want to mention, I gotta send best wishes and speedy recovery to
Let me grab
Tom.
another fry.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom T. He's gonna have to postpone his Fort Lauderdale visit. I know we were talking earlier in the week. Tom's
going on?
Louisiana Kitchen. He's got a
What
little
happened?
bit of a leg injury. He's
Oh,
on
jeez.
the injured reserve to his usual spot, Nobo Brewing, up in Boynton Beach on Sunday. He just released his menu for that, but he's not going to be able to make it down to the American Legion Hall in Fort Lauderdale tomorrow, like I was hoping to sample a bunch of his good stuff.
Saves you a long time.
Well, he's beckoning me to come up on Sunday instead, and he does have some terrific looking stuff.
Might have to do it.
But he said he just was not up to. He's trying to nurse a little bit of a bum leg, and hopefully he'll get better soon. So Tom T. The other thing is, in more sponsor notes, I was able to drop by last night. Joey Esposito, Cafe Seville. I had a great time there. I mentioned it on the morning show that I go in there and the bar was completely filled up. Usually I like to go in there and grab a drink and catch up with Joey a little bit, maybe get a little appetizer. He says, Mike, come here. You got to sit. This is one of my best friends, and I want you to meet him. And I get to a gentleman, looks about the same age as me, wearing a nice University of Arizona shirt. And he's on the phone. He's engaged in some serious conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, and he finally gets off the phone and introduced myself. And we ordered some cocktails. We had a terrific time. It turns out the gentleman happens to be the offensive line coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wow.
And he was in town and his name is Joe Gilbert, not related to Melissa Gilbert or
Was
17th
Brady at the
Street.
table by chance?
Well, no. So
Shouldn't he be taking the offensive line up to dinner? You would think at Cafe Seville if he was smart.
if they were staying in town, but here's the devotion. Joe Gilbert has been a long-time friend of Joey Esposito at Cafe Seville.
Through his
The
Saragusa
team,
connection. Right?
yeah, and Tony Saragosa, a mutual friend, and of course it's tragic that Tony is no longer with us.
Yeah.
But Joe has been around the league. He was at the for about 6 years in Indianapolis before in 2019. This is his fourth season with them. He was there for won a Super Bowl when Brady came on, and before that he was around the college ranks forever. And he started off as a player at Tiny Hamilton College in upstate New York. He's originally from Binghamton, New York, and really, down to earth guy. We were talking, chatting, all this stuff, and turns out, the Bucks came here to practice because of Hurricane Ian. Thank God, Tampa, St. Peter area got off relatively unscathed. They're flying back today, but they were staying down in Miami at the Biscayne Bay Marriott, all the way downtown.
You
And
figure he'd be going to South Beach to eat, or somewhere around Brickell.
well, that's probably where all the players were
Yeah.
going. And but he is such a good friend of Joey. He loves Cafe Seville so much. He took an Uber. I didn't ask how much it cost to
that's an
take an
Uber.
Uber
That's,
from downtown
40
Miami.
each
40,
way,
50
but
bucks, right?
Brady
Yeah.
probably picked it up. For him.
Pranks, we were, talking, my old sports writing days, and he bounced around. He used to do a lot of recruiting in South Florida when he was working for various colleges. He worked his way up the ranks, and now, big time NFL offensive line coach working with Tom Brady. And, he said they had a good week of practice. The fact that the storm didn't hit Tampa too hard, obviously a relief to a lot of the players, and
Man, himself,
a
Ryan
lot of
Wilson.
concern. Oh, there he is.
Look out.
Oh, it's like Brian.
Look
Z.
at
Do
that.
you want? Can you sit for a couple minutes?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. I'll
Don't-
continue
don't
my
let him,
Joe Gilbert
slime the
story
entire thing.
later.
Don't
Yeah.
slime that entire lobster roll.
No,
there.
no, I'm not going to do that.
Because,
But
you're gonna be
we
working on
want to
cheesesteak.
welcome to the Lunchbox. Very gracious to host us, and one of our newest sponsors.
That's it, baby.
Wicked Cheesesteaks. Brian, your last name again is Brian.
Brian Peters.
Peters. Beautiful. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an honor
And-
that you guys came in. It's on my bucket list right here.
I don't know about that, but no.
You may have expedited that also the arrival at the bucket by having Mayo. out
No,
here.
but we've met so many nice people on Let's Eat South Florida. I do have to say it's quite an honor.
That's great. Yeah, now we're doing simulcasting the show on the group, and hopefully people get a chance to, meet some of the people behind the scenes who are preparing food and working hard. And I love supporting mom and pop shops. And just tell us a little bit about your backstory, how you ended up here.
Basically, I'm from Kennebunkport, Maine. My wife's
Nice.
from Camden, but she says Philly. No one really admits
Camden, New
Philly.
Jersey. We
Yeah.
don't hold that against
Nobody
anybody. But it's right
really
across the
admits that.
bridge. Yeah.
So that's where the passion for the lobster rolls and the bisque and some of the main items come into.
Yep.
And my wife was brought up in the cheesesteak business.
Nice.
So we kind of merged and called it Wicked Cheesesteaks.
Wicked good. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
expression up in New England. And you opened when? It's how long?
It's been like 7 months before the
Oh,
pandemic.
wow. So
But the pandemic was really good for us because
yeah?
we do a lot of business on Uber.
yeah. You,
And it's a tough look over here, but I think generally we picked it because a lot of people travel east.
right. On Federal Highway, just across from the hospital. Do you get a lot of
Exactly.
hospital traffic?
We
or
do.
people-
The original plan wasn't to stay in the pizza business, and my wife has a little bit of a pizza background, but we stayed in the pizza business because it's helped support our orders to the hospitals
Right.
on a daily basis.
That's good. And
Now, who's ordering room service for the patients? Or
Oh,
is it
we
the
get a lot
staff?
of
Yeah.
business from like the reps. you
Oh,
know,
beautiful.
and a lot of people buying pizza for the hospital and stuff like
nice.
that.
Yeah. During the pandemic, a
Yeah,
lot of people were
exactly.
supporting the frontline healthcare workers and would send
Exactly.
over pizzas. And you mentioned, like during the pandemic, there were, winners and losers. A lot of the, formal fine dining restaurants really took it on the chin. They couldn't have
Mhm.
their dining rooms, were squeamish unless they had outdoor seating. But a place like this, and I've heard from other sandwich shops, pizza, pizzerias, where business kind of exploded because most of it is carry out and most
Right,
of it
right.
can be delivery. And so that's what happened with you guys, right?
About 50% of our business is online. Like somebody from Sheridan and Federal Highway, like on a Sunday night, will order like 7 cheesesteaks.
Oh, wow.
So it enables the business to really stand.
Yeah. You don't have your own internal delivery people.
We don't have our own drivers, being that we're a new business, and it's hard to find the drivers. And we're in a weird situation where we're 2 miles to 95, 2.5 miles to Gulf Ocean Drive.
Yep.
And you need to have like 2 drivers to get 1 delivery done.
So,
And we basically can run the place with like 3 or 4 people
okay.
and use the online services and technology. We can almost now data entry in an order. It will dispatch a driver from DoorDash, gives the customer a lower price point
Okay.
of what is on the menu, which is a great feature.
Oh, wow. Because
The
usually
technology's
you
just
guys have to
changed.
kind of jack up the prices to offset what they're
Yeah, we
going
don't
to
wanna
pay the
go- yeah.
piper. But if you've
Exactly.
worked out a formula that works for you and your customers,
Exactly.
that's a win-win, we call that.
Yeah,
That's
it enables the business to really, we do a lot of the business for like the hotels. People
Yep.
Google a cheesesteak and then they order online. It might be a Grubhub customer. They just hit the menu and
Let me ask you a little bit about the shop because I love the setup. It's like a double wide. Did you take over or
we originally were we started as a Big Louie's Pizzeria. We bought the business, and then we did a pop-up of Wicked Cheesesteaks, and then it just caught on fire.
It took off, yeah.
And then we converted over just to a cheesesteak. We started as originally as a pop-up, and then we were like one of the first ones in Florida to go the whole way, on the pop-ups.
What's the secret behind it? And, what's the standard?
Well, basically, we used fresh ribeye, and a lot of places, they're not going to be using the fresh ribeye.
Right.
And we use a good Cooper Sharp cheese, which is out of Philly, a white American.
Oh, okay. White American, not provolone. I'm going to be digging that. Okay. Nice.
And then, we just try to keep the best fresh
Amoroso
ingredients.
rolls.
Amoroso rolls.
Right. That's a standard.
Since I am in the bakery business, I don't want to go there, but Amoroso rolls are a little bit better. And we just try to keep it fresh and try to do some different things to give the customer different options on a cheesesteak. People basically have to put a little bit of flavor into it. That's what I try to point towards.
And we're in a room. It's really cool because you have a beach cam from Hollywood, so you get the beach vibe. And then there's all these old retro arcade games. You got the Asteroid, Centipede, Galaga. I mean, who's responsible for that touch?
When I was in...
Okay. Back then, gaming was like,
like
have a sack full of quarters.
Exactly.
You don't have my favorite, though, Skill Crane.
Skill Crane is good. Yeah.
But we need to incorporate in there. Now
but excuse me, they started out in my living room of my house, and then when I got married, they ended up in the garage.
It's so cool. I love Asteroid. I love Galaga. I love all these games I see. Pac-Man.
Very
Pac-Man.
enterprising, though, menu. I mean, how do you manage to keep such variety and
it's basically
sustain it?
Yeah, the cheesesteaks, we try to do different versions to point people, because a lot of people in South Florida, they're not from Philly.
Yeah.
But you need to give it a little bit of flavor, a little bit of fresh garlic, a little bit of hot peppers, so you're generally not just eating a half a pound of fresh ribeye. I try to mix up the menu to point them in a different direction.
Different veggies.
But then you have all of these other things. So like
we got pizza, we get fries.
I saw
wings.
You making ravioli. What do you have, like a lunch special, and you do?
We do lobster raviolis.
Lobster raviolis. I'm working with a gas stove. You with hot plates back there,
we're just banging it out.
Yeah, nice. Okay, we haven't gotten to the cheesesteak portion of the Friday feast on the Lunchbox here with Brian from Wicked Cheesesteaks. We have gotten, though, to the wings, the fries, and I'm going to dive into this lobster roll in a second.
Yeah.
Tell me about the wings, because it's like a hot honey.
It's a honey hot. It's a sauce that we make here.
Nice.
It's a stick and honey garlic, which is
sticky, sweet heat.
Yeah.
And the wings, again on the outside, you bake them before you do a little frying, or what's the technique?
Unfortunately, we're such a small place. We only have one fry later.
Okay.
What my wife marinates them for 3 days, and then we send them through the crazy pizza oven.
Oh, you do a little run through the. Oh, I like that.
And then we fry them after that.
That's good. I like that.
And it was like
because you get a bake to get them a little bit cooked on the inside, but you don't have to totally fry the feathers off of them. I mean, it just comes out really nice. That's a very congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm going to dive into. Tell me about the lobster roll. A lot of people love lobster rolls.
By the way, this is a technique of his where he claims the entire thing for himself. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, I should have.
No, it's too late. But no, that's fine, because you should dive into that.
I'm supposed to cut it in half and give him.
While he justifies his boorish behavior, what's the thing?
I lost myself
behind the root beer.
Yeah, why the 30? Yeah, I'm gonna start down in this. Hold on.
And do people know the difference? I mean,
they're all from different parts of the country. It's another one of my passions. I've always been a big root beer guy. And then there's a distributor from the West Coast that comes over like once a month, and we just hooked up, and we got 50 different kinds of root beer, all from different parts of the country.
That looks fantastic, Mike Mayo. Do you have an opinion yet, or are you going to finish it first?
My opinion is I feel like I'm on a roadside stand in Kennebunkport, Maine.
Wow,
exactly.
Nice.
If I make a lobster, I should be.
Then you're not a true maniac.
No, that's the way to do it too. And some places you're paying like $40 for something like that.
It's a very basic, a lobster roll is just celery salt, pepper, fresh Maine lobster, and the bun.
I could take hardly any mayo. I mean, you toss
it's very,
very
light,
which is the way
they do it
proper,
in Maine.
right?
Yes,
I mean, it shouldn't be splayed with mayonnaise and all that. This does not mask any of the flavor. Like just hunk of
I like when
lobster
you put
meat.
your critic hat back on.
No, I love
It's like if it is
the
settle again.
proper New England,
Yeah, exactly.
proper split top bun like you find in New England and Maine. And
Looks great.
I know it has the MP next to it. Market prices. Lobster down a little bit now, or what's it going for?
Lobster it's generally expensive. We're at like $19 for a lobster roll
That's
here,
it?
which is about
That's
$3 cheaper
really
than everybody else.
reasonable.
They're cheap.
I am seeing, the least I'm seeing these days at most places is in mid 30s in some of the hoity, the tonier restaurants around
But I like
town.
to get the people in to try the quality.
Oh man, this is
and you wouldn't think of a
$19.
cheesesteak place having lobster rolls.
No,
right?
I was surprised because when we saw the menu when the Mustang and I were in here the other day when we met, I'm looking, I'm going, wait a minute, there's a whole section of lobster stuff here. And, and we were trying to figure out where the Wicked came from. And then Mike Mayo, in his brilliant deduction, said, okay, the guy must have some time, or Boston, or the New England area. And then sure enough, we saw this tremendous offering of different lobster dishes, which you would never anticipate in a cheesesteak place.
Yeah, it's me and my wife are kind of in a battle of who's gonna
whose
gonna
cuisine
eat-
will reign
Well,
supreme.
if she's from Camden, like
Who's gonna get the better
Philly
side of it?
cheesesteak.
I wouldn't
So-
mess with a woman from Camden there, when it came to an argument.
That's what I say. Yeah.
So let me ask you. First of all, I feel bad about my boorish behavior, but not too bad.
Well, you
because
should. Lubie and I, as
I'm
usual,
gonna
yeah.
to do, Brian. I'm gonna buy these guys.
Oh yeah,
a couple of cheesesteaks. I want to make sure they try it because this is one of the best.
you mean the lobster
cheesesteaks.
roll? Oh.
Cheesesteak, lobster. Roll.
Cheesesteaks.
I'm off.
He's
my game
already
today.
on to the next thing he's going to eat.
Oh,
which
I'm-
is
I'm
great.
on. No, the lobster
wings
roll.
are a meal
This is
in
one
and
of
of
the best
themselves.
lobster rolls I've had
Oh,
down
good
here.
for you.
It's just
That's a
and
that's
again,
a compliment.
doesn't
people
come
don't
easily from
realize, like, okay, so it's the standard split top hot dog roll, but you pack it with meat. I don't know if you weigh it out, how much goes in there, but it's is a very, very beautiful lobster roll, and I
Yeah.
want to make sure that Defo and Lubie to have one
You get it.
before
Oh,
they leave.
beautiful.
Well,
All right.
actually, you could bring one home to the lovely Shirley. So
Yeah.
that's it. But hey,
Brian,
Brian,
thanks. Yeah, thanks for having us in.
we are really, really
Hours of
appreciate it.
operation, you guys, 7 days a week, I would imagine.
It would been a struggle like every other small business in South Florida. The labor market has
Staffing.
been really, really hard on us physically.
Uh-huh.
And we're closed on Tuesdays currently.
All right.
Here myself and make sure everything is going smooth. We really could stay open until like 1 o'clock in the morning, but it's been a staffing issue,
So when
and
do you shut? About 10?
we're like Friday nights is 10 o'clock, Saturday nights is 9 o'clock, 8:30 on the weekday nights.
Okay.
But
So come in on the earlier side if you're gonna
Yeah,
have
it's just been a
get the cheesesteak, lobster roll, Wickens,
And on a
pizza.
Wednesday, too. I mean,
Wednesday we
is
have a
that deal for
BOGO.
real, or is that
It's-
just
it's
an
for
old
real.
sign that you
He-
forgot?
I see the
Put
same
the-
3 weeks.
Fantastic. 2 for 1 on the cheesesteaks
Like-
and the wings?
Yeah.
Thursday night we have $10 cheese pizzas and $12 pepperoni pizzas and
Wow.
$1 wings, and then we have a great BOGO that's on Thursday nights. Excuse me, with the pizza. Wednesday night, it's the cheesesteaks. Buy one get one free for like 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is a happy hour indeed. That's a good value.
Yeah,
That's the way to do
yeah.
it. Yeah, I'd rather have that than 2
Thanks.
for 1 cocktail.
And- all right. So remember Tuesdays, because so many places are closed on Sundays or Mondays. So
Monday's a good night for
this
us.
is the place
Yeah.
to come for Monday Night Football. Pick up all your
Exactly.
supplies at Wicked Cheesesteaks here at 4824 North Federal Highway.
Exactly.
Just south of Commercial, east side.
Yeah,
on
that's
Federal. Yeah,
very,
you can't miss
very
it.
simple.
Yeah.
All right, Brian.
Let's get you a
Excellent.
cheesesteak.
Thank you so
Welcome
much.
to the Lunchbox. We are
Thank you so
thrilled
much.
to be part of it, and yeah, I can't wait. We're gonna have some cheese.
Thanks so much for having us in.
You
Brian.
got it.
Yeah,
After the
absolutely
break.
great, man. Everything outstanding so far.
We'll be back on the Lunchbox after these words.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. Then there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent you. From our friends at Visit Lauderdale and Lauder Deals, don't miss Dine Out Lauderdale during August and September in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Dozens of top restaurants are offering amazing 3 and 4 course meals starting at just $35. See all the Dine Out Lauderdale menus from more than 50 participating restaurants online at visitlauderdale.com/deals. More taste sensations are being added daily, so plan your culinary adventure to Greater Fort Lauderdale and get your taste of the good life for less. Dig in now at visitlauderdale.com/deals.
We're back on the Lunchbox, coming to you live remote from Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. And I don't know, I'm a little nervous now, Defo.
The police is like undercover police activity here. Look, police always know that. That's a good sign. When the police eat at a place, you know it's a good spot, right?
I was just gonna say that's why I
Police,
came over.
fire
Like,
people, postal workers, any kind of civil, a worker, they usually economy as well, because I don't know that these guys are coming in here expecting a freebie, because there are too many
they
of them.
don't do that anymore.
No, they
Defo.
don't
We
do that.
even-
Right? It's not, the old donut shop joke probably shouldn't fly here. That's for sure. Because there is a donut place right up the street.
Oh yeah, that's it. But anyway, pleasure finest. Then again, that means the food is good at Wicked Cheesesteaks. And
I don't think they liked us talking about them. Giving them identity there. They're all undercover.
well, we're not putting them on camera or anything like that, but have their badges and guns displayed, so they're not completely undercover. But
All right, so
they didn't want to hear you
roll,
talking
huh?
about getting the freebies. That's
Yeah.
And again, that is against all department policy now. But I do know, a lot of people like to express their appreciation for the bravery and the good work that they do.
I'm a big fan of
100%.
law enforcement, especially if they do the job right. But I did have an incident yesterday, Lauderdale by the Sea. I probably should have put this up on Let's Eat South Florida, even though it doesn't apply at all to food. But I was parking to go to the use my phone app to pay for the parking. I come back to the car. I should have about 45 minutes left on my time, and sure enough, there's a ticket on the window.
So this is something that's been happening repeatedly, but I hate to interrupt. Did you actually see that when you put the time on
Yes,
the
I
phone
saw
that
it started.
It
Yeah.
started.
It started.
The clock
Says you
started.
had 1:59 left. I
Okay.
started in 2 hours, right?
So what happened?
Well, what happened was I'm thinking, well, this kind of thinks, why should I? Usually with a parking ticket, I mean, you might be able to get it dismissed if you go to court and do all this stuff. But
You
You
might
have
have
the
to pay in the
receipt
ass.
from the whatever app.
well,
that
and
you use.
I figured I was okay. So anyway, I called the number that's on there, thinking maybe there's something I can do about it right away. And it turns out you settle these beefs at the town hall, which is like right up the street, like
Right, special
2 feet away. You
magistrate.
could have walked there, right?
Yeah.
So I get there, and the lady says, oh, okay. I show her the ticket. I said, look, I still even have time left as we speak. She says, oh, okay. And then she looks at the ticket on the back. It says there's a picture involved in this thing, a video.
Right.
It turned out one of my tires was slightly over the line.
Are you kidding me?
For the next
Slightly
spot?
over the line for the next spot. Just
They
the front
tagged
tire.
you for a
That's not a thing.
And they billed me $30 and no way out of it. They had a picture of it.
Are you
I don't know
kidding
that
me?
you could dispute it. And the funny thing
you
was,
paid the money and they still wanted more money.
I paid the money for parking, but I had to pay the $30 fine. My tire was on the white line.
And you're a resident of the said town. Of
And
Lauderdale by the Sea.
I'm, a senior citizen afflicted with dementia and Alzheimer's. And I tried everything. I tried all of my mother's old tricks
Oh, I
to
was
get out of
gonna
this
say.
thing. How about a break for an old
You know
man?
what?
I started quivering,
Just shaking.
and saying I probably shouldn't even be driving.
Oh, jeez,
They call that a money grab. That's a municipal
That's how they are there.
money
Yeah,
grab.
it's unfortunate.
That is
took
what
place.
you call a ticky. I've never heard of anybody in lane violation in basically when you're in that lane.
Yeah,
you know,
Right.
you-
Like the
you-
Chief
you
spent more
clip-
time in the paint than I did
Yeah.
on that one. I mean, on every possession.
because you just nicked the line because you were you way over? Did you
Now
impinge
these
on the
fine Fort
next?
Lauderdale police people would have never done that. I can assure you, they would have given
She
me a
mouthed
ticket for
never
that.
to you.
Yeah.
She's not the parking.
Yeah.
But
But I mean,
crew,
that's
but-
obnoxious, right? And if you're
But
gonna
wait, did you impede like somebody
no,
being able to use
it was
a
funny.
second
there was so much room between my car and I didn't
There
notice
was
that.
a next
Yeah.
car.
I didn't know. Well, it was 2 spaces over, and
Right.
I didn't even notice I was on the line because
So that's if I didn't look. I'm always weird about it because I don't want to encroach on.
I
other
was gonna
spots.
straighten it out too. That was the funny thing.
But-
When
Why
I said
didn't you?
ask, I didn't think it was important.
illegal? I didn't
know.
There was nobody in the parking lot.
I didn't
the
know
parking
that
lot was empty. I mean, it was
No, that's a pretty ticky-tack thing.
a ticky-tack foul. Wow.
But the only rationale I can think of from the city's point of view is that if you are over another person's spot and the revenue, like nobody else could park there because they're afraid they're not going to be able to open
Hey,
the
it's
door.
my fault. Was I on the line? Yes.
Okay.
Would I
admitted
have
fault.
written a guy up for a ticket on that? Absolutely not. But I mean, the instructions of these meter
Particularly
people.
it's like a weekday.
Yeah.
It's not the weekend where
And
every
the place
spot is.
was. There was nobody near my
Yeah,
car.
that's
Nobody. Not a
That's
soul
BS.
around.
I
Yeah,
call
yeah.
BS on that. And if I were you, I'd move immediately out of town and let
I,
them know
I put
why.
my place up for sale, but Luby's so busy with his own transaction,
Exactly, there
I
you
couldn't
go.
get that done.
Hey, so getting back to Joe Gilbert, my bromance
Yeah.
with the offensive line coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and
And he's coming on the show, right?
he's a big time foodie, and of course he spent some time, and he actually sent me a picture this morning of all the great food that he ate over at Cafe Seville.
All right.
I'll show it to Defo and Lubie here, but it's I can show it to the
What
show.
did he have? He had this
He
stuffed,
had everything.
pork
He
chop, pork
had-
chop.
It looks like a Milanese or a pork chop. He
Oh,
had
you're
like
gonna
it
cut
is.
that
I
for
can't
him?
even
Nah,
show
it's
it,
not
but
gonna look too good.
it's not going to look too good. But he ran the
all
gamut.
of Joey's food comes out looking outstanding.
Yeah, and
doesn't
Joey
it?
sent
Yeah.
out the shrimp appetizer, the shrimp with the Santa Fe sauce, the
Which
shrimp
it's
with
okay
the
to pick
ajillo.
those shrimp out with your fingers.
No, that I used my knife and fork.
Because
I
you were in
was
front of other people
on my
that you had
best
respect for.
behavior. He brought out a loaf of the bread. I did use my fingers to take a piece of the bread
I'm
and dunk
surprised
it
you
in the
didn't just lick
sauce.
sauce.
I dunked it
Yeah.
in the sauce. There.
That is a
But
plus, yeah.
Joe Gilbert.
Here we go.
Here we go.
comes
This
cheese.
is going to be the
Joe Gilbert,
ruination
sorry.
of one
man,
Mike
this
Mayo.
is
and
it.
Brian
Lunchbox.
takes.
This
Oh,
is
this is the
it.
one I got.
Hey, you know
look
what?
at
with
that.
Good
pepperoni.
thinking, Brian. You're on to this guy.
Brian,
This is the
You're
one
on to this guy. You carved it up for us.
anticipating my total lack
Being a
of
slob.
decorum.
This I have to
So
try.
this is the one
Yeah.
Shirley and I got. It's
Oh,
a Philly
yeah,
cheesesteak
with
with
some hot
pepperoni.
peppers.
With
Yeah,
no, it's
yeah.
pepperoni.
Yeah.
They put
peppers. These are
pepperoni.
hot. Oh, pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
That's
Oh,
a
pepperoni.
new
Yeah.
one.
Interesting
All right, grab
take.
yourself
So-
a slicer, Mike.
Make it Wicked Cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
He cut it in 4 because he knows I'm a bore. Hey,
Hold this up.
I'm a poet. I don't know it.
Onions are the key.
And for a chunk here that is
Look at the
just
steam coming
oozing
off of that
with
thing.
this
Wow,
pepperoni.
wow, wow.
It's got the white American
All right,
cheese.
you go first.
I'm
there,
going
yeah.
in.
All right,
It looks,
we'll describe.
I've
this.
never had a cheesesteak with
That
pepperoni
looks great
before.
with the pepperoni. Right,
No, it's great with
leading out
pepperoni.
of there, and the melted cheese looks like it's perfectly intertwined with the meat.
With
The
steaming,
kind that the
Mayo.
mailman likes.
I don't understand. Steam means hot,
Steaming is
but you
hot.
can
yeah,
see the
yeah.
steam. But he's
You would
shocked
think
that
he
it's
never ate
hot.
before, right? You would think
Like
he
I'm
just
so
got
confused
out
by
of
this man.
Papillon didn't have as bad a manner as he did around food. You know,
Like,
when he
I
got out
love
of
him. I really
solitary,
do,
it's
but he
incredible.
freaks me out.
Yeah. Are you all right, kid?
You okay? You're
You're the
scaring
star of the
crap
show.
out of
It's your
me.
lunchbox. Yeah,
I couldn't help myself. It looks so
I
good.
know.
it really does, man.
Even though it was steaming,
I'm going in. I'm trying it.
I just
Like, but look, he's going slowly. Takes a nice ginger
It's
bite.
Wow.
it's got the proper
Stuffed it in
amount.
your mouth.
He does it the way I like it, where he melts the cheese,
Yep,
folds it in.
yep.
I just scalded my entire
did.
mouth.
It's synthesized with the.
I'm willing to suffer for my art and
We
for
can
the
That has a
show.
nice natural
but-
heat to it too, though. I didn't put any hot sauce on there, which I
No,
normally
he's
do.
got
It doesn't really need it. Which
that
is great.
pepperoni infuses
Well, the
it with a
pepperoni
little
has
bit
like
of the heat.
Wow.
I don't know if he puts any other hot peppers
Talk
in it.
about the melding
but-
of the flavors.
Yeah,
here.
the melding of the flavors is a
unbelievable.
terrific
It's the hot
thing.
pepperoni.
Yeah.
Sub it
Hot
because it's different.
pepperoni with the cheese.
That was the
looks
one.
like a little onions.
That's the one.
and
right there.
Brian did a knockout job. You know what?
Wicked. It's
Thumbs
wicked good.
up. It's wicked good. It passes the Lunchbox Gambling Gourmet test. They are worthy of becoming a sponsor of the show. So
We're
they
talking
passed the
multiple
test.
stars here, maybe even 4 and a hook
and
here.
now I
Those are great
learned
cheese
like Mayo.
that the group, for all their complaining and kvelling or not kvelling is the word.
Find the good in things.
A lot of the group does come out, find the they like you said they
find the good
spotlight
places.
good places.
I think about the variety we've had here. The fries were off the chart. I don't know that I'm going to a place just for the fries, but those were great. It's always nice when they are really good. The wings, fantastic. I had just a regular, hot wings last time, and They were terrific, and they make their own sauce here too. Bottle versions of it, and the sauce was great, and they don't use it sparingly. I mean, they really load it up nicely. I mean, a little bit of New York cheesesteak off the chart,
Yeah,
and
great.
when we get to try the lobster roll, I'm sure we'll have the same opinion as you.
I mean, he ate the whole.
Which was,
he pounded it, so.
yeah.
I ordered you a couple. I'm going to make good on the.
No, that was very nice.
That'll cover one of the bets that I've lost.
Yeah,
I've
sure.
lost track. But that is a wicked good cheesesteak.
You like that, huh?
And again, I'm not usually a fan of double meats like, bacon cheeseburgers, having bacon piled on top of the hamburger. But this pepperoni infused
I think it
with
made a
this
big
shaved
difference.
ribeye in this cheesesteak totally
really
works.
knocked it out of
It's
the
a
park.
total
Yeah.
winner. Knocked it out of the park. I mean, if I'm assessing it on the old 4-star rating system, this
Right.
place so far is 4 stars. I mean, that's
All
good.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, that's
No, that's
impressive.
good. All right. We also have to talk about one of your other favorite places, which, talking about fine steaks and often talked about. And once again, the majority rules. Tropical Acres. They're just a great
Beloved.
place. Sam Studiali
Question.
and the
Beloved.
Studiali family. What a long-standing, iconic place that is here in South Florida.
Yeah, heading into this weekend, we all give thanks that we were spared the worst, and I think it's good reason to celebrate. I think everybody could and should go out to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop if you want to bring some steaks home, because the Butcher Shop is open every day but Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Better yet, go in there for a full, fantastic meal in either the bar or the dining room. It opens at 4:30 p.m. every day. Tropical Acres is 2500 Griffin Road, just west of 95 and the Fort Lauderdale Airport. And they've been around since 1949. That's older than Defo. And they, again, finest in hospitality from the Studiali family. They are renowned for their filet mignons, prime ribs, rack of lamb, seafood things like the Twin Lobster Special, which you can still get it tonight. It's Friday. Monday through Friday. I think it might be the last week, but 2 steamed Maine lobsters for $35. It comes with salad and side dish. We love Tropical Acres. It is the bomb diggity, as the kids say. I
don't
love
think
going
kids say that
there.
anymore.
And half price wine night Monday and Tuesday. Happy hour in the bar 4:30 to 6:30. Early bird special gets you all kinds of extra goodies from 4:30 to 5:30 in the dining room. And don't forget your loyalty cards. Get them punched. 12 entrees gets you a 13th gratis for free. We love free. So go to Tropical Acres and tell them that Lunchbox, Mayo, Defo, and Lubie sent you.
Not a scary thought. I don't know if you remember these guys. There was a guy that looked just like Martin Mull, and they were the handicappers at Penn National when they had the guys that came on from the house that gave the pre-race picks, and they always gave you the 3 favorites. But our picture here looks oddly reminds me a little bit of those 3 guys, because I think they had the same kind of brick panel wall behind them, although they didn't have the 2-for-1 BOGO special listed on there. But I don't know that they gave out too many winners, because that was known as
Yeah,
Cripple
because
Creek.
by the end of the day, they were banging their heads against the brick
Well,
wall.
at the end of the day, they might have been dining on some of the horses that were running there at the time, especially. But
Meanwhile, we love. I'm really.
you haven't finished the lobster roll, which is surprising, because normally you would have tucked that away by now.
Well, I was saving myself, so I made sure I had enough room for proper sampling of the cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak
is dynamite.
Wow, really
Again,
nice, yeah.
sometimes I don't like cheesesteaks because on the greasy side, not here.
This is not greasy.
This is like completely not greasy at all.
And the bread
and-
is
and-
not soft, but not hard. It's an interesting
And
combination.
he chops up that ribeye pretty finely, but not too finely, and you still get enough of the substance and the heft and the flavor
Yep.
of ribeye, because ribeye is all about it's all
Yeah,
has that a little bit of fat, and it's got that fat equals flavor, but in this case, it doesn't equal grease or greasiness. So I am claiming this.
Oh, you finished that.
King of the cheesesteaks.
Yeah, more to tell you about here on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox from Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale.
Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox.
Wow. Am I full?
We're plenty of things here.
Yeah,
So
you
am
know-
I mean, I've been right there with you today. I can't talk about you because I've been chowing on this stuff.
We're at Wicked Cheesesteaks. This is my first visit here, and it certainly will not be my last. I'm
What a
polishing
great
off my
go-to spot for like a quick thing, you know.
polishing off my lobster roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great place, and that cheesesteak is one of the best cheesesteaks I've had in the Fort Lauderdale area.
Wow, what
And-
good heat that had on it. Natural heat.
Beautiful. So I'm gonna finish this up. We're finishing off the week. What another great week it's
Finishing
been.
up the month.
Homebound cabin fever with all the storms and all that.
It was a dumpling story. I think
Yeah,
had
the
a lot of people like wondering, contemplating whether life was worth living. But no, it was good. You rebounded nicely from that.
Ponderous. I got a little ponderous with the dumplings,
Yeah.
but we rallied. Even keel. Wicked Cheesesteaks. Who
Great.
knows what's going to happen in October here on the Lunchbox? I know what's going to happen. So Joe Gilbert, offensive line coach,
gonna join us.
Foodie, is going to join us on Tuesday's show, and this is going to be after the big Sunday night matchup, Bucks versus Chiefs. Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes. And
You think you might
Joe
surprise
Gilbert?
us and do a phone pass to Tom?
I don't know
think
about
that's
that.
very
but
Promote that.
I
Could
do
Tom
know
Brady be on the next edition of the Lunchbox?
I do know that Joe Gilbert on
Tom Brady.
Tuesday is going to join us, hopefully by video, and he's a big-time foodie, and he wants to
good.
talk about the food scene in Tampa. He has a chef friend, a guy named Chris Pont, that used to work here in Fort Lauderdale, who's got a couple about. So looks like we might have an alternative to Burn Steakhouse next time we go up to Tampa, and we'll talk about it with him on Tuesday. We'll be back on Monday for all kinds of fun and post-football talk. We didn't really talk about the Dolphins' loss today, but so be it.
And they
We'll
lost.
deal with
It's
it.
over.
All
Wicked
right.
Cheesesteaks. Great
Wicked
spot.
Cheesesteaks. Come on out here, Fort Lauderdale, Federal Highway, just south of Commercial. Have a great weekend, everybody. For Mike Lubie Lubitz, Jeff DeForest, Mike Motter saying, enjoy every sandwich.